Sustainability is very important for brewing industry and Kompania Piwowarska in particular. And the reason for that is that large companies now, these days, are expected not just to deliver the profit for shareholders, stakeholders, but our consumers are expecting us being sustainability-oriented companies. We have a strategy called Better Future 2030, and there are 4 distinctive elements of this strategy, which are based on 4 so-called P. It's planet, people, portfolio, and profit. The core of the strategy lies on 2 pillars. It's planet and people. And speaking of the planet, the most important priority for us is the CO2 emission. And that's where our focus is located. Our aim as a group target to achieve zero strategy by 2050. But 2050 is far away, and therefore we've got a very pragmatic target, which is located to 2030. So by 2030, we should have all our breweries zero emission. And by 2050, we aim that all supply chain will become also carbon neutral. So it's a big, ambitious target. So then the second element is the water consumption. As you know, breweries are consuming a lot of water, a lot of clear water, and therefore minimizing the water usage is very important. And for the group, we're aiming to achieve less than 2.7 liters of water per 1 liter of beer produced. There are some other elements which are also important for us. And speaking of the people agenda, the biggest part for us is diversity and inclusion. We're aiming to have a management by 2030 consisting of 50-50% in terms of the gender, 50% males and females. And we've been very successful in the recent years. So, for example, our pay practices do not distinguish between whether it's male or female, so we're providing equal pay for employees. And speaking of portfolio strategy, we know that actually beer is alcohol, right? And therefore, it's quite important that we do approach the sales of alcohol, beer, responsibly. We know that consumptions in countries like Poland is already high. So we're talking about 90 to 93 liters of beer per head, which is a lot by European standards. And therefore, we're looking for, actually, at the future market constructions, we're not looking to increase the beer per capita consumptions, but rather suggesting to people or inviting people to drink better drinks. And at the same time, to pay more attention to non-alcoholic drinks, like non-alcoholic beers or flavored non-alcoholic drinks. I should proudly say that Kompania Piwowarska reached 41% market share in this non-alcoholic segment in Poland, which is quite important, a new and emerging segment, which is actually been a great source of young people moving from alcoholic drinks to non-alcoholic space. And the final one, the profit, obviously, because it is quite essential to look at the company strategy to reduce the expenses and costs related to our production and functioning of the organization, and at the same time continue premiumization of our agenda. So those are the 4 elements of company strategy.